And eventually, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy post thanks Christmas. It was Christmas yesterday. It was Christmas yesterday. Hopefully everybody had a great Christmas. We're halfway through our Christmases. We got a few more to do tomorrow and Sunday. So yeah, we still rocking and rolling the Christmas. And I was like, I'm working today. We're gonna pull stuff and yeah, nothing like the system crashing out and then realizing that everybody else in your staff is off until Monday. So you can't even be like, hey, go ahead and post this, put this out there because we're working through the issue. But we made it. Hopefully, everybody had a happy, safe Christmas. And now, we can start looking forward to what we do next. Right. And what are we talking about today? We're going to talk about things that we need to stop doing in 2026. It's a not gonna talk about, how we should do, goals and planning and fixing everything there, but we're probably gonna laugh a little, be honest a lot, and hopefully we can decide what we are absolutely not dragging into 2026 with us. So let us know who you are, where you're from, what's in your cup, what the weather's like in your area. Are you even working today? It's a ghost town out there. If you are working, what are 5 things that you're gonna do today? For us pull orders, even though we're off, we're still going to get orders pulled. Surprisingly, we had a really good day yesterday. Like people were starting to order, the website was active and people were ordering. So I anticipated like zero sales yesterday. So I will take that. That we knew that the last 2 weeks of the month are a little wild. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Working on Valentine's Day stuff today, so that way we can show some stuff off on next Tuesday with Todd. So let's check in with people and see how they are doing here this morning. Because Linda sent me a message, so thank you very much, Linda. Where was that at, Linda? Right there. Thanks, Linda. Thanks for letting me know that, and Chuck as well. Sent me a message. All right, let's see. Kelly, good morning to you. Raining there. Yeah, well, you're getting pounded on with rain. We talked to a couple friends yesterday, and they're like, "Yeah, it's like Southern California is they just got whacked too." So yeah, because that's part of Corey's Christmas present. She's gonna head out west in January, for a little downtime. So we'll see how that plays off. What's up, Chuck? Good morning to you. Hope you had a Merry Christmas as well. And Linda's at 70 there on the way to 82. 82. I think we're headed like 50s. I think we got 50 today, tomorrow, and now that kind of changes the meal plan for Sunday because like, oh, it's not going to be horrendous. So if we wanted to grill some stuff out, we just might do that. Keith, thanks for checking in there from the sunny Space Coast in Florida. Alan, I keep reminding myself that today's Friday, not my. It feels like a third Monday. I feel like it definitely threw me off on things that we're doing and plans of what we had to do. Like, today will be cleanup day. Today, tomorrow will be cleanup day at the shop because, the last, 2 days prior to it turned into Santa's factory, turned into a wrapping paper machine factory. Anybody else's shop turning that? It's nothing better than being able to hide things by just not having them at your house. And yeah, so we had a couple wrapping stations set up. It was kind of nice. And that'll be getting all that back in order today. And we still have more stuff to do because we have Christmas with our older kids on Sunday. So yeah, good time there. Nice and sunny weather for Christmas. Ours wasn't too bad. Snow was nice, but in pictures on the West Coast, I would believe that, Chuck. Right? It is. It looks good on TV. It looks good in pictures, but it's a mess to deal with. Total mess to work with. Jerry, good morning to you. Right? Poor me. We got it figured out though. Oh, I got a peach Celsius. That's what I'm rocking with. Cinnamon bun coffee in the cup. Thanks for the delay. Gave me time to brew. Yeah, that's why I did it, Keith. I was like, oh, Keith's not here. Let's just go ahead and hold off the show until I know his coffee is ready. We got espresso machine. I don't know, Nespresso. I don't know what the hell a Nespresso machine is, but we already overflowed it once. There was that. I got the. And what's the coolest gift that you got? I can totally tell that I'm in my really dad years because going through my list, it was just a bunch of weird stuff. But one was the double decker wagon. So, when we're loading up for baseball and the outdoor sports, it was the wagon, but then I would still have to carry the chairs because they didn't fit in the wagon right. Well, there's a double decker wagon where you can slide chairs underneath it. I'm like, that's perfect. You can slide the canopy, everything underneath it. So yeah, that's what I was kind of cool with. Like, ooh, let me get that, and yeah, that, and I don't even know what else I got. Wireless thermometer, some beef jerky, some typical dad stuff there, and the kids all enjoyed their stuff, and now we get the big kids next, so it'll be fun to see, and I can't wait to eat more for it. I can't wait to eat more. That's what I'm looking forward to. No problems. I worked at my friend's t-shirt shop at the casino. I did see something like that. I worked three. What? Give me the story behind that. How did that play out? What happened with there? Because we've done that where we worked in friend shop. It's like, hey, what do you need us to do? But yeah, let me know about that. I'm not smart enough to fix it. It did it on its own, Jerry. On its own. It's raining out there. Yeah, it is. We've been out there twice when it rained, and it was wild how it just everything kind of shuts down. The thing that I remember the first time we were at the mall, and we're like, it's pouring, and you have, it's open air mall, so it really threw me off. Definitely need to clean, but not today. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's foggy here as well, Jerry. Cinnamon tea in the cup going to my daughter's today. No work. Very nice. Cindy, 45, and I'm having tree cake latte. Are you rationing those out now for the year? Break down a bunch of boxes, pack up Christmas show displays, mail run, make pork tamale. Ooh, yeah. It is tamale time. I love tamales. Ooh, Brian's joining us. I got a film so the original Return of the Dad is that's pretty legit, Brian. Where are you putting that? I mean, it's no Raiders necklace, but I'm just saying that movie is cool. We get printed out some stuff for or Hudson picked out some stuff for his brothers, so we got that 3D printed out. We got a koozie and a cup holder or something. I don't know. Well, so we'll see how engaging or how much fun they have with that. Okay. So what do you say? What do you say? Today we're gonna chit chat. We're gonna talk. We're still gonna have our mentorship call. So this one, we'll kind of go right up into that. So don't worry about that. We'll get into that one because then I got work to do to go from there. But number one, number one thing we're not gonna take into us in 2026. Anybody guess? Anybody guess? Anybody guess? What one thing that we should not take into 2026 with us? Weird to say that. 2026 right around the corner. I'm going to tell you what I feel is number one thing is stop undercharging and pretending that it's fine. All right. What is undercharging kind of starts, with optimism. It'll be fine. It'll add up. I just want to help out. And then you're 6 hours in a project, dinner's cold, and you're wondering how you ended up annoyed at work, that you agreed to take. It's usually the moment that you realize the math was never mathing, and the real problem isn't the price of things, it's just the mental tax. When you underprice something, what happens? You rush it, you resent it, you dread it, and that energy just kind of leaks into everything else that you're doing. So, pricing should make your work feel lighter, not heavier. So stop doing it. Just stop. Look at your stuff. What are you doing, and how can we fix it? Some examples of this is a maker kept prices low all year and couldn't figure out why. She felt burnt out despite being busy. Duh, because you were underpriced. Another one raised prices slightly, booked fewer orders, but felt calmer and made the same amount of money. All right. Here, I can sell two widgets at 10, or I can sell one widget at 20. All right. So for this, just pick one product that you know is underpriced and write down what it actually costs you in your time and energy and make sure that the price reflects that. All right. Number two, let's stop saying yes because we feel bad. Anybody did that? Those last minute yeses usually happen when someone sounds stressed out and you don't want to be the bad guy. Right? What do you tell yourself? Oh, it'll be quick. I'll figure it out. Tomorrow, Todd will deal with it. And then tomorrow, Todd, stand in the shop, 10:47 at night, questioning every life decision he has ever made. Right? Saying yes to avoid, discomfort It just moves the discomfort onto you, right? And the more often you do it, the more often that customers assume that, hey, we can just do that. Now boundaries don't make you mean; they just make your schedule predictable. So some examples of this is a decorator who always said yes, and in December, feeling behind, stressed out, overwhelmed, and wanting to quit. Seems familiar, doesn't it? Another maker enforced a firm cutoff date and immediately noticed that customer orders stopped after that. All right, perfect. So when we look at things, look at what your cutoff rule is and practice it. If you're saying, hey, I'm 7 to 10 days out, here's the rush fees, here's everything there. Know what your practice is for pricing and timelines. Say it out loud until you're used to it and it doesn't even feel awkward or it just rolls straight through it. All right. Now, how about this one? Let's stop apologizing for prices like we're confessing a crime. I'm sorry, it's a little pricey. Ugh. If that sentence has ever come out of your mouth, welcome to the club. A lot of makers apologize because they want customers to like them. But apologizing for your prices, mm, it kind of makes it sound like even you don't believe in your pricing. That that's the right pricing. You know? So stop doing it. Clear pricing is kind. Confident pricing is professional. Right? And customers are way more comfortable when you sound comfortable. You do not need to sell your soul along with the product. You just need to make sure that you're pricing it accordingly and be unapologetic in that pricing. Some examples is a maker removed apologies from her messages and noticed fewer pricing objections. Another business, realized that customers stopped negotiating once she stopped sounding unsure. So if this is you, let's just rewrite one pricing message without saying sorry or saying, I know it's expensive or saying, this is the price, but, or even over explaining. Price done, move. That's what we got to do with it. Now, before we get into a 4 and 5, let's check back in and see what we got here. Stress. We're not taking stress in 2026. We're not taking bad customers into 2026. Rena, good morning. Coffee and bundled new blanket, listen to the rain. It's not too bad, is it? Jerry got a hummingbird feeder with a camera attached. It's so cool. Come on, spring. Are you gonna name the birds? Are you gonna have friends that show up every day? I have a friend that has that. They're like, they're talking. I'm like, I think they're having a conversation about people. Somebody came over to eat. I'm like, oh, what the hell? All right. No, no, it was birds. It was birds. I totally agree. I got burned out making teas for my dance group friends. Stressed me out 100%. Now it's at $25 DTF shirts turned into $85 tees. Yeah, buddy. Worked my butt off. It was time to go home when the CD girls were on. Whoa, whoa, for t-shirts. Whoa, what casino were you at? And yes, I reopened it on Christmas Day. Crazy again. Very nice. No is in the dictionary. I am one person. No, just say no. I love that. I love that. I love that. Like it's a crime, right, Jerry? Just saying. I pray that hummingbird being tranquility you take the time to enjoy the birds. Yeah. Jerry will have great stories about the birds. She will tell us what the birds did and where they're going and everything. The different birds that show up with the different. I can't wait. Jerry will have us. Oh, it's a hummingbird, so it'll just be hummingbirds, right? It won't be regular birds. We'll see. All right. Number 4. Let's stop treating burnout like a personality trait. You know, being tired all the time, kind of weird flex is that. Right? Everybody's, man, I worked 47 hours yesterday. I was just, you're like, okay, somewhere along the way, exhaustion becomes proof that, that you're doing it right. But burnout doesn't mean you're committed. It means something needs adjusted, and ignoring it doesn't make you stronger or smarter. It just really makes that crash worse. The goal, some say the goal isn't to work less, right? But it's really just a way to work that doesn't make you feel like you hate your business, by the time the end of the year rolls around. Energy is a true resource. And once it's gone, everything feels 100% harder than what it needs to be. So, some examples of this is, a maker powered through exhaustion, ended up, forced into an unplanned break. Anybody know somebody that was just like, they just crashed and like, I didn't answer, didn't hear from them for a week because they just so overwhelmed and they just crashed out on it. Right. And another one, hey, you know how they got over it? They just built rest in their schedule and they actually enjoyed the holidays. So, when we look at our schedules, when we look at what we're doing, when we look at our process, when we look at how we're doing orders and that, just look at your stuff and see if you can find one habit that you can change next year that protects your energy instead of draining it. All right. Now, number 5, let's stop running our businesses on guilt. Anybody else maybe have done that? Guilt's sneaky, man. It shows up when you raise prices, when you enforce rules, or when you take time off. It whispers that yeah, you should just bend this one time. You know, and once guilt starts running your decisions, consistency really starts to disappear. And what happens is you end up exhausted. You end up confused, and you're confused why everything just feels harder than what it should. Well, clear rules, they do feel uncomfortable at first, but you know what happens after a while? They really do start feeling freeing. Right? Customers adjust, you relax, the business runs smoother. Guilt fades when clarity takes over. So, some examples of this is a maker stopped making guilt-based exceptions and finally felt in control of her schedule. Another one noticed that customers respected her more once her policies were stated. Once her policies stayed consistent. So, for this, let's just write down one guilt-driven habit that you are officially leaving behind in 2026. All right, we can do all this, right? So, the unofficial or official, depending what you look like it, 2026 quit list that we're all going to do. We're going to stop undercharging and calling it kindness. Last minute yeses fueled by guilt. We're going to apologizing for pricing, treating burnout like some sort of badge of honor, and letting guilt make our decisions. You don't need a new personality next year. You just need to stop doing the stuff that makes your job harder than it really needs to be. And honestly, you already know what those things are, so just do it. Now, that's what we have for you today. Quick little edited down show because we did get started way late on it, so we could still get on our things. But we do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We will do this next week on Monday, on New Year's Eve, and then the day after New Year's Day. So we're gonna have all that for it. Next week, what do we have? 20 on Monday. We're gonna talk about your business in one sentence. That's what we're gonna do on Monday for. So, what else we got? Questions, comments, concerns. Let's gonna see what we have going on in here. Let's see. Rena, haven't been here in a while. I know, slacker. Are you going to Long Beach? I am not going to Long Beach, but somewhere around that time, Corey is going to head out to the West Coast. She's gonna go. Her in April, for a fine holiday season that they helped us through. They're going to take a little break. And since we weren't able to go to Long Beach last year because we got sick, 2 days beforehand, I was going through stuff. I'm like, hey, we got flight credits to use. It's like, why don't you and April just go out there? And she goes, what, to Long Beach? I was like, no, just go out and, hang out in California. Go out and visit. And so they're gonna do the touristy stuff this time. Actually, I can't say they're gonna do the touristy stuff. They might do a little, but it's a little workcation. They're gonna head out to the Crystal Ninja studio, do some stuff out there, maybe see what kind of deal we can work. And they, instead of flying back, they might be driving back. It might be a little crystal car, that crystal vehicle that ends up on its way back here. So look forward to that excitement as we learn more about it. So we'll see. So no, I will not be attending Long Beach this year. And yeah, be polite. Say no, thank you. That's all you got to do. Be polite. Say no, thank you. Good morning, Angela. And Jerry says that I really enjoy them and thank you for your kindness. And yeah, see, know, the only person you need to validate stuff to is yourself, right? Like you want to hear it, I will give you everything that we've went through, all of our issues. At the end of the day, what do you need to do for you, right? It's about you and your business. Let's see if we can do it. On which part, Claudette? Which part? As far as I know, everything is working. We went through it. We have multiple payment options for it. I have not seen any issue. I haven't checked emails yet today, but I know on subscription side, I've seen payments come through yesterday on Christmas, so I know that everything should be working as it is. What question did you have? And I can see what it was there. Can't get the wizard update. What issue you running into? Like when you're checking out, or what is it? Because everything should be working just fine. Um, I know we have limited tech support until Monday, but everything I looked at shows that it's working fine, and it shows that orders came in and that they were processed on both parts of it. Ones that new customers with new signups and with existing ones. So best if you have an issue, screen cap everything that you're running into and then email it in. And then we'll see if they'll be able to run through it. But for the most part, everything should be working just fine for it. So yeah, if you have any issues, screen cap, email in info@therhinestoneworld.com. All right, with that, we're going to wrap this up. We got about 16 minutes, right? 17 minutes to our mentorship call. So I'm going to go and get that set up because as soon as they came back, I went straight to this and got it rocking and rolling. So Jerry, not yet. It won't. The system will not allow for it. It won't allow us to do um, a yearly recurring. So we're trying to see if we can work a backdoor side quest payment option. But because the way it's tied in, they're testing that out. So I know after the holidays, I don't expect anything to be done between now and the end of the year, but we'll see because it should be a pretty simple thing. The bigger issue is what we've come to is we don't necessarily need a recurring on it because if we're switching by this time next year, we'll be switching over to Shopify, then that payment would be processed through the new system anyway. So we're seeing if we can just do a standalone product, but it still has to have the call in to show that it was there. So it's it's coming. It's coming. We'll see. We'll see how it is there, but it's in the works. We think we might have had a way with it. All right. With that, you guys have an amazing day. We're gonna go get orders pulled. We still got some Christmas shopping to do, so we're gonna get some of that taken care of today. And until next time, you guys have an amazing day. Peace, love, press on. We will see you then.